for a quick dog walk. Ella is with us. Ella, come on, say hello. So, many chips. I always forget to turn the internet on. So, all I wanna do is have some fun. I got a feeling I'm not the only one. So yes, I've got the black hair. I've had me hair cut, had me hair dyed. Black hair is back. So I was gonna do a video. Hi Vicente. So I was gonna do a video about the fallout. Oh, I've just seen a blackberry. The blackberries are starting to come. Ah, blackberries in the UK. They're not quite here yet. They're a bit green. But I can see blackberries are coming to the UK. I love me blackberries. And they're good for you. They're low carbs. Low in sugar. All part of the keto diet. Obviously, I recommend keto. Look it up, guys. Keto diet can save your life. Right, as I was saying, I was going to do part 2 of the topic concerning when Priscilla tried to contest. What did you say, Vincenzo? I missed that comment. Remember, I only get them for 2 seconds. I was going to say about Priscilla contesting Lisa Marie's wishes, the amendment in the trust that that her kids got everything if she passes, including anything in an insurance policy. And I was going to do part 2 of that. We did do a part 1 this morning on a live stream. Please go and watch it. It's pretty good. We also did, we found a real fake, terrible Elvis channel that was promoting Priscilla and slagging off Riley. She's 88, so she's alive. Is that right, Senso? Is she alive? She's 88, yeah? So she is alive. There's a bit of confusion. Rona Barrett. Not happy with the way you spoke about poor Elvis. He couldn't defend himself on the day he died, and then you promote your program, Good Morning America, in the name of Elvis's death, and then called him a druggie without doing proper research, without investigating why Elvis needed so much prescribed medication, without knowing that he'd been sick for years, not 2 years. I think you said 2 years. He was sick, I would say, for as long as 20 years. So Rona Barrett, you got some apologizing to do, my friend. Do you still feel guilty now for discussing Elvis in such a nasty way? I know you also said a few good things. You saw him in concert a few times. I think you said you were even at the 68 comeback. Is that right? Or was it the 69 Vegas comeback? He deserves better. Elvis deserves better. These people that have trashed Elvis for money, for fame, for success, to get views, for their ratings. Shame on you. Poor Elvis, what did he do to you? Isn't that what we could say to people? Couldn't we say that, guys? What did he do to you? Yeah? All the people that have trashed Elvis for money, whoever they are, friends or family or ex-wife or ex-girlfriend or ex-employer, whatever it is, what did he do to you? That's the question I say to you, to ask yourselves. What did Elvis do so bad to you that you can publicly humiliate him and do so much damage that the ripple effects of that damage are harming his image and reputation even now in 2025? What do you think, guys? It's not right, is it? Could you imagine if we, Team Elvis, went up to each person and said to them, what did he do to you? You know, these people that have trashed him made money from him. twisted and warped his reputation around the world. Because let's face it, guys, Elvis's reputation around the world is not what it should be. Obviously, the reputation for his music and how good looking he was is there. It's there. Everyone agrees with that. But for Elvis as a human being, his reputation with the people that don't know him, that haven't done their research, his reputation is terrible. Right, let me just get past these people. Whoops, we're back. Hang on a minute. Sorry guys, can you still hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Oh, more people. 1 second. Sorry, I showed you the floor there. No, but seriously, guys, let's just name a few people. Now, Priscilla would say, oh, well, he was unfaithful to me. He made me feel like a prisoner. He told me how to dress, do my hair. I had no life. Does anyone fall for it? Does anyone believe it? Does anyone think that Priscilla had no life? We know that Priscilla was also unfaithful. Does anyone think that Elvis forced Priscilla how to dress and walk and talk? Priscilla, who moved from Germany, a very normal house with her parents, to Graceland, literally had the life that kings and queens live, with the most famous man on the planet. And she says, I had no life. It was so hard for me. I struggled. I lost myself. Such a load of bullshit. Even when I think about certain people, I'm not going to say names, that have trashed Elvis, friends and family. Could you imagine if Elvis could go up to them and say, why have you said these things about me? Why have you trashed me? Why have you said the most disgusting things about me? What would they say to him? Would they say, oh, you know, I wasn't happy about how I lost my job? Oops, let's go over here. All right. Would they say, oh, you know, I wasn't happy how I lost my job? And would they say, so because I lost my job and it seemed a bit unfair, I decided to trash you, degrade you, humiliate you, embarrass you, talk about the most private things that a friend or a cousin or a stepbrother or an ex-wife could ever do? Do you think Elvis would say, oh, well, that's okay then. That's okay then. You know, all I did was give you everything you could ever dream of, give you a life you could only imagine, yeah? And I literally gave you everything you needed. So, yeah, thanks for trashing me for money. Do you get it, guys? Let's think about anybody. It could be anybody. If he went up to Priscilla, if Elvis went up to Priscilla and had a chat with her, do you think he'd be fine with it? Do you think Elvis would go up to Priscilla and go, oh, okay then? I don't think so. Do you think Elvis would be happy knowing about Michael Edwards, the alleged abuse? I don't think so. I think Elvis would literally have the biggest temper tantrum ever concerning Michael Edwards, the so-called model that was in the Terminator, Priscilla's boyfriend of 6 to 7 years. I think Elvis would go nuts. All these different people that were around Elvis. You know, do you think if Elvis went up to David Stanley, he'd be like, thanks, mate. You've been a good stepbrother. You were good to me. Thanks for all the things you said about me in different interviews for money in every country. You know, you've been living off me and my name for 50 years. Thanks for trashing me and then making excuses and saying you're a born-again Christian and that you regret it all and you're sorry for the things you said. Thanks for saying that I committed suicide. Do you think Elvis would be like, oh, that's okay, don't worry? Yeah, it's literally ridiculous. The amount of people Elvis would have to go up to defend himself and say to them, what are you doing? Why did you do? How do you sleep at night? Now, there's the other way around. We could turn it around, guys. We could say, how many people have praised Elvis and said how wonderful he was, what a lovely man he was, how kind and intelligent, caring and loving. Get it, guys? Like an example, we've recently brought it up, Susanna Lee. Elvis would go up to Susanna Lee and he'd say to her, you know, Elvis's co-star off Paradise Kauai, he'd say to her, thank you for being such a good friend. Thank you for having my back. Do you get it, guys? Do you understand what I'm saying? There's a lot of people that Elvis would thank. Come on, we can name loads. I've watched a lot of interviews of people praising Elvis. I'm not talking about his singing now, or his movies. I've watched a lot of interviews of people that got to know Elvis, many of them celebrities, people in his band, people he worked with, people he grew up with, even Sam Bell, who grew up with him in Tupelo. And they talk about how nice Elvis was, how kind he was, how caring, how loving and sharing, sensitive. He would even listen to people's problems and try and help them. Elvis tried to help the people around him. People think, oh, everyone had to look after Elvis and wait on him hand and foot. It isn't as simple as that, guys. Because yes, they did, but he would help them back. Elvis would help them back, wouldn't he? Elvis helped the people around him, including Memphis Mafia, the Smiths, the Stanleys, Priscilla, Dr. Nick, Colonel Tom Parker. Elvis helped them. He helped them in every way that he could. And I think he forgave them again and again and again. So Elvis would have a lot of people that were very loyal to him to thank. Ginger Olden has been a great one. She said a couple of things I'd rather she didn't say, but generally she wrote a lovely book. She kept her mouth shut. She defended Elvis again and again, and she still does now to this day. She defends Elvis. She says beautiful things about him, how lovely he was, how funny he was, how fun he was, how he still enjoyed life even in 1977 and 76. This is a loyal friend. This is a true friend. Someone who, no matter what, has stood by Elvis and kept his dignity. Kept his dignity. A great one is Anne Margaret. Has anyone ever said, has anyone ever heard Anne Margaret say a bad word about Elvis? Never, never. Elvis would go up to Anne Margaret and thank her and give her a big hug, probably a kiss as well, and say, thank you for being such a dear friend. Thank you for being so loyal. Get it, guys? Elvis does have thousands of people to thank. You got June Junico. This morning I watched June Junico's interview. She speaks beautifully about Elvis. Beautifully. Not a bad word to say about him. Cried her eyes out. The interview I watched, she cried her eyes out when she found out Elvis had died. Now, don't forget, she was married. Her husband finished work early so he could go back and give her a cuddle, because June Junico's husband knew that she would be devastated. Now, June Junico didn't want to cry in front of her husband because, you know, for obvious reasons. But no, June Junico's husband was very understanding. Very understanding. He knew that June Junico and Elvis were close. That beautiful colour footage that we can all watch of them on the fishing boat, even with the parents, with some of the Memphis Mafia. Vernon and Gladys were there. Elvis in 1956 was still very much normal. Been affected by fame. Hadn't been affected by fame. He was still Elvis. So you go and watch that footage, guys, on YouTube. It's amazing. Hi, Regina. We're just having a chat about how many people Elvis would thank for being so loyal to him and kind and kept his honor, and how many people that he would be upset with that completely let him down and trashed him for money, ruined his reputation. There's so many people. I watched an interview the other day with Neil Diamond. He would praise Elvis. He attended one of Elvis's concerts. No, it's the other way around. Elvis was at Neil Diamond's concerts. Everybody was cheering that Elvis was there. They wanted Elvis to get up on stage and sing with Neil Diamond. Actually, it's the other way around. Elvis was in concert. Neil Diamond was watching Elvis. Everybody was cheering for Neil Diamond to get up on stage. I'm a massive Neil Diamond fan, guys. Love him. Absolutely love him. Elvis noticed that Neil Diamond felt a bit uncomfortable and just took the spotlight away from Neil Diamond. This is the kind of person that Elvis was. But Neil Diamond always spoke beautifully about Elvis. There's a few interviews on YouTube. Neil Diamond praising Elvis. That's a kind person. That's a friend. You've got Muhammad Ali. There's a few interviews. Muhammad Ali praises Elvis. You know, Muhammad Ali jokingly swiped Elvis's legs away from him just as a joke. But they both burst out laughing. We know about the robe that Elvis bought for Muhammad Ali, that Muhammad Ali did wear. Muhammad Ali, even when he was very unwell, would still talk about his friend Elvis Presley. That's what I call a friend. If Elvis met Muhammad Ali today, he would thank him for being such a good friend. You've got the Bionic Man? Steve Austin, what's his real name? Lee Majors. He loved Elvis. He still wears his TCB necklace now. Elvis would thank him for being a good friend. Come on, guys, think of some names. People that Elvis would thank for being loyal friends, never trashing him, always sticking up for him. There's quite a few guys. You've got James Brown. There we are, Bill Medley. Yeah, I've seen that interview. James Brown praises Elvis, cried his eyes out at the funeral. Speaks beautifully. Frank Sinatra loved Elvis, loved him. They had a rocky beginning. But Frank Sinatra gave Elvis a silk shirt as a gift coming out of the army. Nancy Sinatra gave it him. Nancy Sinatra follows our channel, guys. I don't know if you know that. She's a fan of defending Elvis. There are so many people that were loyal to Elvis. Very loyal. You've got all the band members, certain ex-girlfriends. You get it, guys. But unfortunately, some of the people that were closest to him made a living out of trashing him. I'm not even going to mention names because there's no point. What's done is done. But what we'd like to see is some regret, some apologies. Come on, guys, give me some names. People that praised Elvis. I know there's hundreds. There are literally hundreds. People that are so upset when they see him being trashed, that he has been so unfairly portrayed. again and again and again. He doesn't deserve it. I loved watching Susanna Lee, Elvis's co-star, standing up to David Stanley on the Terry Wogan show. It made my heart melt. I will be forever grateful to Susanna Lee for defending Elvis. I love it. And you know what? Quite a few of the co-stars have defended Elvis. I've seen a few of them. They just knew him, they got to know him, they worked with him. They couldn't believe how welcoming he was, even giving them loads of advice. If they were new in the acting game, Elvis would try and help them. A really humble man, that fame never went to his head, always down to earth. Fame never went to his head, always kind and loving and caring and sharing. Always had time for you, never refused. Elvis never refused an autograph, never. Elvis never said no to his fans, ever. This is the kind of man he was. Dick Clark, there we are. You only have to listen to all the good that is said about Elvis from people that knew him, that met him, that spent time with him, to really know the real Elvis. Elvis is the best. Teresa, you got it. It's such a shame that we even have to have, yeah, Sammy Davis, that is a beautiful interview. I've heard that quite a few times. I'm a massive Sammy Davis fan, guys. Mr. Bojangles, yeah? I knew a man, Bojangles, and he danced for me. Now, Mr. Bojangles. Right, we're gonna cross over without getting killed. We're on the dangerous bit. I love him. Bojangles, Dean Martin, Frank Sinatra, the Rat Pack. Love them. Love them. Love them. Another love of mine. And then he'd lightly touch down. Woo! Mr. Bojangles. So good. So good. I know. A lot of you like the Candyman, don't you? The Candyman can. I know it's on Willy Wonka, but Sammy Davis Jr. sang it beautifully, didn't he? He probably made that song famous, the Candyman. But I'm proud that Elvis has so many people that praised him. Wayne Newton, there we are, that praised him again and again. This is what shuts people up eventually, because yeah, they can trash him, but they will always be outnumbered by people that praise him, that knew the real man. So they're playing a losing game. Now you think about it. You think about it, guys. Ooh. Right, we're nearly home now, guys. You think about Elvis, yeah? Woohoo! Windy! Even the people that have trashed him, they go on to show love and affection. Yeah, Jackie Wilson. Didn't Elvis pay his medical expenses? But even the people that have trashed Elvis, and there's a few. Alice Cooper, there we are, I've watched that, yep. Even the people that have trashed Elvis eventually started praising him. They've run YouTube channels praising him. You get it, guys? Yeah, John Wayne loved him. Even the people that have trashed Elvis eventually stop trashing him and start praising him for money. For money. They don't trash him anymore. Well, they do a little bit, but not like they used to. Now, many have died. Many of the people that trashed Elvis have passed away. I wonder how they felt on their deathbed. Did they regret it? Did they regret it? I would say 99% they did regret it. So, and do you know what? In the pearly gates of heaven, Elvis would have still forgiven them. Isn't that something we all know here, guys? And what anyone said about Elvis, Elvis would have forgiven them. Hi, Joanne, how are you? BB King always speaks beautifully about Elvis. I've seen those interviews. The list is endless. If we had to really take our time, woo! If we had to really take our time and make a list of the different people that praised Elvis, it would be a very long list. And yes, Elvis would have forgiven all of them. I think the only one that he would not have forgiven